怒りを叫べ悲しみを叫べ魂を叫べ今ここで叫べ
What's up, everybody? Welcome once again to the Yokai Delinquents podcast. I am Sean, Bearded Capitalitin.
And I am Jerry Robo Tengu Smith. How you doing this week, Sean?
It's been a crazy week here in the South, here in Arkansas. We are currently in the midst of a first proper snowstorm I've had in years. So as of this recording, I am stuck at home and not complaining.
Yeah, no, I feel that. I mean, I normally have today off, and so this is the thing that disgusted me, right?
Uh-huh.
Because we also got snow this week, and it's like not super common here, but you kind of hope for it, just like in Arkansas. But we did, even though they say it's not super common, we did get a shitload of it last year too. But it was just so stupid, right? Because I worked from home Saturday, and then I'm off Sunday, Monday.
Right.
So all of last week I was like, just fucking snow. And then of course it didn't start snowing until 9 p.m. Friday night. So I was like, well, I'm already working home on Saturday and I'm off Sunday, Monday. So it's probably going to be cleared up by Tuesday. And we got a solid, it feels like 8 or 9 inches. It's stupid.
Oh wow. Yeah, we're getting up there. It's snowing pretty hard right now. So
yeah, I've seen a lot of pictures of it. So it looks like it's dumping pretty good on you guys right now.
Hey, that's fine with me. Although, like I say, kind of like with you, it's like my days off are, Tuesday, Wednesday. So recording here on Monday, again,
Yep.
I got an extra day today, and last Thursday they shut us down because we had a lot of sleet and snow.
Oh, right.
Kind of just icing up the roads more than anything. So they told us to stay home. So I had that one day. Then I worked Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Sunday yesterday they sent us home early, which was only about 30 minutes for me because I was getting off anyway. But you know how it goes.
I hate that. Yeah. And I mean, that's kind of the thing because, in Arkansas, you guys might be out of commission for a little bit, but here in the PNW, they're a little more prepared for it, so we'll be back up and running. I mean, we actually ordered from DoorDash yesterday, and it was fine. So
yeah, fine for y'all. You did nothing.
Yeah.
You just had to set that. You put
no.
someone's life at risk so you could have egg rolls or some shit.
Listen, here's my whole thing on that.
Yeah.
And Steph and I talked about this. If they didn't want to get out in the snow, they would just not work that day.
I
right?
mean, you're not wrong.
Well, for DoorDash, because DoorDash you can choose when you work and stuff.
Right.
So
whatever justifying putting people's lives in danger so you could get your pistachio ice cream delivered to your door.
We tip extra for days like this.
Good man.
So
I ain't gonna lie.
Anyway.
I thought about having a Domino's delivered. But
So one of the things that the snow day would have provided me with, which I guess I didn't really get, but there was a new game that released this week that is actually pretty getting up there. The buzz for it is pretty high right now, and it's kind of funny because when I first looked at this game, I was like, man, that looks like that came out in 2005. But have you heard of Valheim?
No, I don't believe so.
So it actually it's in early access right now, and it came out, I believe, last weekend on Steam in early access. And so I play games with Jonathan and Brandon and Steph, and we all just kind of get together and find a bunch of multiplayer stuff. We were playing Red Dead, and Brandon brought up this game because we also like our little crafty games Grounded and stuff like that, base building and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So this game popped up called Valheim, and it's the story of it doesn't really matter. But the synopsis is like you died as a Viking, and like there's wars going on in like Valhalla or something, and they essentially want to like gear you up to joining them in their battles. So they send you in this like uh, this world to test you and to make you stronger and stuff like that. So you're pretty much like flown in on a fucking crow, and they have these world bosses that you have to destroy. But you basically have to start from like nothing and
Oh,
work your way up. Build your bases, craft and stuff like that. And like we're basically like, and it's kind of been have like a Dark Souls type feel, because whenever you die it leaves a grave and you have to like run all the way back to your shit, and like you could possibly die on your way there and all this stuff
right.
because you have no gear. um but like so it's just kind of like this thing. Brandon and Steph and I jumped on, and we all built our base up and everything. We're like, hey, let's go exploring some areas and stuff, and built a boat and went out to sea, which is dangerous in itself. And they have like biomes, and the easiest biome to go through is called the meadows. So it's like super chill, only boars and stuff like that there. And then they've got like the Black Forest, which is a bit more dangerous, especially if it's like nighttime. um, well, we found a new biome. We were like, oh, this place looks cool. Landed, and it's a fucking swamp. So scary as shit. Things were immediately killing us. Like, it's really one of those things. Like, because if we all died there, our stuff would have been stuck there. We would have had to make another boat, sail all the way back out there, and grab all of our stuff, which we didn't really have the mats for. So they have like portals that you could make later on, and like over trials and tribulations and one person surviving half the time, we ended up getting ourselves onto this new land and like finally building like bases and kind of like expanding a bit. But man, last night Steph and I were playing by ourselves, and we were like, hey, let's go adventure out on the boat, and a fucking sea serpent popped up. And you know how I do about things in deep water. I'm not for it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
you're
was
not a
it was a
fan.
little terrifying. Yeah. Well, there was one time Steph watches a lot of people stream and stuff like that, and was kind of like looking into things, and we saw this little island thing, and she was like, "Hey, let's go towards this island," like because at first like somebody had mentioned it, and I was like, okay, yeah, cool. And then she was like, yeah, let's go towards it, like, hinting like there was something at it. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what is this? You know something about this island that we don't know. So I was like, I don't want to go to it. And then we got to it, and it looked kind of like creepy and like round or whatever. And I'm like, it's going to be like a giant turtle or something like that. And they started mining things on its back, and it started shaking. And I'm like, no. And yeah, it was really creepy, and it ended up moving, and we all fell off the island, and everybody made it back to the boat except for like John and I. We both drowned and had to get back to our boat. It was terrifying, but after that experience we were more eager to go and do it, but still creepy as fuck.
So is it like? Because I mean, like when you were first describing it, I'm like, please don't tell me this is
Mhm.
just Vikings Fortnite. When you talked about like getting
No,
dropped off by
no.
the crow and having to build everything. So no, it
Yeah,
actually sounds. So it's
yeah.
kind of more of a multiplayer co-op.
Oh yeah, yeah. So they do have PvP, but you could turn it on and off. So you don't do like friendly fire on your friends if you're like all fighting stuff together.
Right, right.
I mean, and it's mostly like our biggest thing. We have there's 5 of us on our server right now because we figured out how to do like a community server.
Hmm.
So anybody could pop in and out whenever they want, and we just go and build stuff up and craft, and just like right now, I think one of the main things that I'm working on, which is very ambitious, is I've been building a road from the meadows where our main base is through the Black Forest, so we can just have like a supply road for like
Oh,
ore and stuff like that. Yeah, it's been pretty fun. But like I said, like there are times like whenever it gets dark and stuff, if you don't have a bed nearby and you're like in the Black Forest, like you'll get swarmed by stuff. And like
right.
most of that stuff, one at a time is fine, but a whole like bunch of it all at once really sucks. And the more bosses you beat, like we've only beaten one so far, the harder the enemies that come at you, like at certain points, because they'll have things where it's like, oh, so and so is getting ready for an attack, and the first boss like just sent like boars and like small minions, and then like we killed him, so now the next boss is sending like bigger things at us. So if you get stuck and you're like fighting a bunch of those by yourself, it's kind of like difficult. So we try not to play with just one person on the server at a time.
Oh, I got you. Right.
Yeah, but yeah, it's been pretty fun. Like after Valhalla came out, I was like, okay, I'm good on Viking games for a little while because played that, watched Vinland Saga, finished the actual show Vikings. So
Right. Yeah.
but
Same.
yeah,
I finished those. I have not been playing this game, nor did I play Valhalla. But finishing
Valhalla
Vikings,
was really.
yeah, finishing Vinland Saga, of course, was good.
Hmm. But speaking of finishing shows, starting shows, watching shows, something that we haven't talked about, kind of like taking a turn here from
Okay.
the video games and Vikings and stuff like that. We and I think we were actually going to mention it a couple episodes ago if we had time, but we kind of like went into a whole thing.
Right.
WandaVision. Have you been watching it?
I have been watching. I have.
Oh man, WandaVision has done in like 6 episodes what I was hoping the MCU would do in like the last 6 years. It's been really great. Like, and I'm honestly loving this format for the MCU.
I mean, it's a unique take for sure what they're doing with it, and it's really working as a kind of a mystery unraveling. No,
Yeah.
as far as like every episode, we get a little bit more what's going on. They've said that this is obviously, and it's clear at this point we're building the Phase 4, or basically the next phase of the Marvel MCU, which is now 100% tied into the TV shows and the cinema and the movies are all going to be in one. They've said as much like when like shortly before it aired, like they made like an official announcement that this is tied directly into the next Doctor Strange film.
Oh yeah, and you can really tell like how deep its roots and everything are going, because like they've even referenced so the kind of synopsis of it starts off with Wanda and Vision are oddly enough in this weird kind of like sitcom starting out, and you kind of get the feeling by like episode, like parts of episode 1 but really in episode 2 that things aren't really how they seem to be. And it kind of braces back on stuff that happened in Age of Ultron, stuff that happened in Infinity War, and yeah, it's hella connected, and very tied into the MCU. And no, I don't want to spoil anything because I figure we could do like a good WandaVision recap when the series is over, but for one of the first times that I can really think of, they're tying in the Fox movie Marvel stuff with the actual MCU, and I am so ecstatic about it.
No, I popped big for that. That actual the Fox reference, which we'll say for the actual like season series. I'm pretty sure this is a one and done recap. But yeah, that was huge. And okay, I'm a sidetrack a little bit here. If anyone who's listening follows me on social media, I've posted before about spoilers about like I had people just kind of like posting things that are like, okay, like there's, correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm just being a whiny old dude, which I understand if I am, I'm old. There's difference and between, like, say, like you and me. We both read a lot of comics. We both are pretty knowledgeable about the going. Even if we didn't read what they're referencing, we kind of have ideas. So I feel 100% comfortable you and me talking about like what this could be, which we'll probably do on this show, except for obviously what they'll answer, but like what it could lead into based on our knowledge of the comics.
Yes.
Versus what I've been running into People who just watch YouTubers who have spoils, have leaks, who have
Right.
photos taken from on set while filming, and then
Mm-hmm.
but either trying to play it off like it's like, well, what if this happens? Do you
Mm-hmm.
think so and so is this character? And I'm like, you don't know who that character is. And now I don't know if you just ruined it for me because you saw
Mm-hmm.
someone who found a leak, or or a speculation that could be right. You know what I mean? But like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm having trouble enjoying the show a little bit because I
Yeah.
want the mystery. I don't want to know.
Right.
Like,
Right.
I'd rather discuss what we've seen and then like
Mm-hmm.
have the wild fan theory of what it could be, even if it's right. But you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if it feels different, talk with you or any of the crew from our comic book shop, even though like none of the main crew, but you know what I mean. But like talking with other people who just feel like, I know you've never read a comic book, and okay, I'm gonna throw
Mm-hmm.
out. I've heard the speculation before, so it didn't anger me.
Mm-hmm.
And are you cool with me dropping this? And because I don't know if it's any kind of
Yeah.
fact. I don't know if it's any kind of
Yeah.
fact.
Yeah. So
Uh,
we're putting a spoiler right here.
Yeah, possible. Because again,
Possible.
I don't know if it's a leak. They never claimed it, but
Mm-hmm.
considering where they usually get the last time I've had to yell at them about things
Mm-hmm.
was this. Okay, so without dropping who they're talking about,
Yeah.
they brought up Mephisto
Mm.
as like, do you think he's involved? And I didn't look at because I'm not trying to be mean about things. You know me. Like, even if I'm mad
Yeah,
about
yeah.
stuff, I try not to be rude. But it's like I was looking at it like, you don't know who the fuck Mephisto is. You don't read books. You don't. I know you
Yeah.
don't read the comics, and I know you're not that big of a fan of the fucking Nick Cage Ghost Rider film. I think he was in one of them, right? So there's no way.
I think he was in both,
Two.
maybe.
Yeah.
I know he was definitely in the first one.
Right. So like in my mind, it's like, look. So that tells me, if it's even true,
Mm-hmm.
that came from somebody else. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's not
Right.
fun. That's not. I'd rather you and me sitting here talking about like all what the potential of what could lead up to all this. Like again, we'll save it for the actual season series review.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean?
So are they thinking that the new character that recently showed up might be him?
Yeah. But I've also I've already
I honestly
seen.
hadn't thought about that, but I was wondering if it was something like that.
I
I would partially be a little sad because it would make like my previous statement a little like less exciting.
Right. Well, like
Yeah.
without getting it, obviously we probably should be saving this for it. But like,
Oh yeah.
it's exciting because you said it is a connection to the Fox stuff,
Right.
and without giving away anything, I can say this, I think, safely without spoiling anything for those who haven't caught up. It all depends if a lot of what's happening can exist outside of what's going on. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
From
Yeah, yeah,
what's
yeah.
being created within that area, if it can exist
Mm-hmm.
outside of it, that opens up a lot of shit.
Yeah, and that was kind of my thing. Was the stuff that was created here is I kind of like jumped the gun when that first showed up and sort of like told some friends like, oh, this is really exciting because of this, and I hope we get to kind of see this. But I didn't realize that was going to advance as fast as it did.
Right, right.
So I was like, crap. Now we're getting this. Now I look like a huge asshole because I kind of spoiled that.
Yeah, and that's why, like, okay, like here's
Yeah.
the thing, like I'm gonna put out there for those listening, in case you've had this experience, because I had this with Mandalorian. I mean, my buddy, I'm not gonna call him out on the show itself, but like, and you know what? It could have been a coincidence. I don't believe so because I know he's self-admittedly that he likes going to YouTubers who can explain things and
Right.
potentially speak of leaks or what they've heard. Mandalorian season 2, literally, like the week of the first episode, he just happened to bring up from the expanded universe the sheriff who happened to be rocking Boba Fett's armor in the old canon.
Oh,
And and I say coincidentally in parentheses, because what happened in episode 1? We got a
Yeah.
sheriff rocking Boba Fett's armor.
yeah.
And he's like, and I saw him again at work, and he's just like, "Oh, it was that character." I'm like, "Was it?" I love the guy. You know what I mean? Obviously,
Yeah.
none of this is friendship enders, but I'm like, I had to start going, "Look, bro, we can only talk about what we've seen, not what it could mean, not what could happen." because I can't trust you. I don't believe you're just fangasm speculating. I
Mhm.
believe you're just watching people who have seen film, seen, pictures of
Right,
looked at the
right.
IMDb page, because even I messed
Yeah.
up doing that, because watching WandaVision, I saw an actor, I'm like, I know that actor. And my usual habit of going to look up their IMDb
Mhm.
profile,
Mhm.
and I saw a character spoiler.
Yep. And that's kind of funny. And I feel like that is wholeheartedly spoiling because I saw
Yeah,
somebody post the cast for Doctor Strange, the next Doctor Strange, and I'm
right.
like, motherfucker.
Yeah,
Because like that is essentially like people they can news places can be like, oh, so and so is cast in some mysterious role or something like that, and that's okay. But like
right.
if somebody's like, I'm trying to avoid stuff like that, and somebody just directly is like, oh, look at the entire cast that's going to be in this movie, and I'm like, well, I don't know some characters that are going to be showing up.
Right. Like speaking of Mandalorian, it was
Yeah.
Rosario Dawson was announced to have a role
uh,
from the jump, like
Gotcha.
early on.
Hmm.
Now we didn't know it was Ahsoka, but
Right.
we firmly it was most likely. I never saw any like leaked makeup test or footage of her filming the episode that she was in.
Hmm.
But we're
Hmm.
like that would be. But that whole time we were talking like Rosario Dawson is confirmed to be in the Mandalorian doing something. And I'm
Hmm.
like, oh, if it's, and the whole time I'm like, oh, what if it's Ahsoka? It's the right time, and we're just kind of piecing it
Hmm.
together with no actual confirmed
Yeah.
ruined
Yeah.
knowledge. And I think that,
Like.
and I know that's harder to do because I know, like, and I get the excitement. And there are people out there who don't care. You don't care that, like, a spoiler will just make you more excited. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And I get that and I can
Yeah.
respect that. But I feel like, and maybe it's just my own experience, and I hope, and again, this is not, I'm still friends with these people, it's all good. In the end, it's not that serious. But I'll tell you this, if the Fox connection was spoiled for me, I would,
Mm-hmm.
I would, because right now we just like, hey, what'd you think of that episode? We talk about what we saw, not what any of it can mean. I made
Hmm.
that rule just to keep it, because he feels bad every time he did it. He's done it a few times. But if he had ruined the Fox connection before I saw that, I'd be like, dude, we can't even talk anymore about anything that has
Yeah.
that's more than that's less than 5 years old because I'm done. Because like legit, I almost forgot to watch the episode before going to work, so I didn't have to avoid the
Uh,
internet. And
right.
like literally, I'm rushing that episode. Not rushing, obviously like, okay, it has 10 more minutes left. If I leave as soon as it's done, I can make it to work without getting fired. Like because that's serious for me.
Yeah.
I
Yeah. Yeah.
truly enjoy these experiences.
Yeah.
And it's like, and
Yeah.
I know the internet, I know Facebook
Hmm.
can spoil things. So I try to watch Mandalorian, WandaVision. It'll be same with Winter Soldier and all that when it comes out.
Hmm. Oh yeah.
But
Yeah.
like, and then and I saw that, and I'm literally like, me, dude. Like, when you're in a group,
Hmm.
I feel, and it
Hmm.
might just be me. When I'm with a group, I laugh more out loud. I react more.
Hmm.
Because like I could be there, the most excited. This is the hypest fight I've ever seen on cinema by myself, and I'm just sitting there just stone faced.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? I mean, like I watched John Wick 3 and some of the most epic fighting going on in that movie, and I'm having the time of my life. This is amazing. I don't react. I don't externally react. I jumped out my seat when I saw the Fox connection.
Dude, like, and it was funny because we had some friends visiting from out of town,
Yeah.
and that night we went to go visit them in their hotel and everything, kind of hang out, play board games, stuff like that. And I was like, "Hey, do you guys want to watch WandaVision while we're eating?" And they were like, "Yeah, of course." And like, yeah, we watched it, and it was that episode, and I was like, "No fucking way!"
Right. Like I had that. I had the Twitch gamer quote came out my mouth, which I never thought I would ever say. I blame my buddy Jesse, who was a guest on our show recently. I've heard him say it more than anybody else, but I let out a "Let's go," which I've been hearing more with the youth. And I'm just, that's just kind of their thing. Apparently, it's a Twitch gaming.
Youth.
I don't use. I don't. That's my favorite way to say younglings because without the slaughter. But yeah, but no, it's exciting. It's a great show,
Yeah.
and I just like I said, people. I know y'all get excited out there and
Hmm.
let things slip, but be conscientious about talking about what you may have heard online, even if it's purely
Right.
just that. Like I've seen an art because even my news sources will have. I saw an article which I could already tell that's what they were going to about Mephisto.
Hmm.
So it's like, but I didn't even click it because I don't want to know. Like I had a friend when I commented on a completely different spoiler, whether it's true or not. Someone just posted an article on Facebook with images. And I'm like, well, I can't follow your life anymore. We're still friends, but forgive me if I don't react to when something great or terrible happens because now I
Yeah.
can't trust you because I mean.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, you have to avoid the internet week to week. I'm like, bro,
Right.
he spoiled a show that hasn't even started yet. It's for Falcon
It's
Winter
like,
Soldier.
oh my god.
If it's
Yeah,
true,
and it's like I will block you until this show has ended. I do not give a fuck.
dude, I will block you. But you know what? I
Yeah.
have a life. I might forget to unblock,
Yeah.
and no, I'm just moving on with my life. That's just reality. And I love all my
Yeah.
friends and people who
And
who on
like,
Facebook.
one of the interesting things about it is this show is, you can already tell, going to be way different than Winter Soldier and
Absolutely.
even some of the other shows. But like, I think the biggest thing about it is the air of mystery that it starts off with, and like just the fact that like you really can't do a deep dive and discuss it without really spoiling anything for people. So it's kind of one of those things of like, I want to kind of keep that air of mystery for anybody who's like listening to us and wants to watch it.
Yeah, no,
Um,
absolutely. And the
but
thing of,
yeah,
oh, sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, but like, in a couple more weeks, I guess next month sometime, we will be doing a full like spoiler review of the season for sure, because I definitely want to talk about it and what it means to the future of the MCU.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And like I said,
Mm-hmm.
just the last time I'm going to harp on this subject on it.
Hmm. Hmm.
When a show is a mystery like this one, just put some extra effort into not, spoiling
Yeah.
it. And at least, and if you're cool with that, cool. Enjoy your show how you're going to enjoy your show, but be conscientious that not everyone wants to know what's going to happen beforehand. And I
Hmm.
get some people, like I got a buddy. He only watches anime. He won't read the manga, no matter how much he bitches about One Piece pacing. He refuses to read the manga. So I don't know, I may have brought this up before. I'm not sure. So every now and again, and when I know he's not going to stop, but I try to keep his spirits up by going, bro, this chapter, like some shit went down, and it's awesome. And he'll legitimately be like, tell me, because I'm not gonna stop watching. I'll probably even forget because the anime's so far behind. So so he can enjoy knowing what's down the road. But
Yeah.
don't get it wrong. Like I'll like even when the manga comes to its quote unquote end, it's never ending.
Hmm.
I will not. Excuse me. I will not tell him that.
Yeah, yeah, and like that's kind of like always been my thing. I don't care like how long One Piece is, or if people say that they're never gonna get into it or watch it or anything. I still I can't
Yeah.
do it. I can't spoil it for people. It's like, look it up if you want to see what
Yeah.
happens.
And you know what? Even though we've seen it a million times, I know we discussed it on our One Piece specials about that spoiler in One Piece.
Yeah,
That no
yeah,
matter, I mean, it's damn near probably 15 years old, 10 years old now. But you don't spoil that one.
yeah.
And our buddy Nathan, who was on a previous episode, he's going through. Guess what happened?
Oh no.
He doesn't know how, but he knows it happens.
Oh,
And it's
that's a
like,
bummer.
and I was like,
He was,
motherfucker, you've done so well.
yeah, he was getting real close too, wasn't he?
He's in um oh Lord, I can never remember it when I want to.
Thriller Bark.
Thriller Bark, yes sir.
I knew that
You
was
know
your
it.
one.
I don't know why I can never remember Thriller Bark, the horror arc, which should be I'm all about. But like
Mhm.
he's in there. He's gonna be picking it back up because we were talking because he posted a potential picture spoiler on my Facebook about Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Mm,
And so, and we started talking about spoilers and stuff, and he revealed, yeah, well, just so you know, that got spoiled for me. And I'm like, ugh. And I'm like,
No.
I said, you done so well about avoiding the internet and that kind of stuff about it. He goes, oh no, it was a friend's friend. Just
Ugh.
found out I'm all about One Piece and was like, oh my god, and then this happened.
Yeah. Oh man. I understand people's excitement about
Yeah,
like meeting a fellow fan, but it's like
yeah.
you can't just run out and be like, "Oh yeah, what did you think of this part?" "Oh, I'm not there yet." Whoops. Like, come on.
But
It's
okay,
like it's like
I'll
the
say it.
whole book reader talking to the show watcher or whatever,
Oh,
you know?
oh, for sure, for sure. And I mean, I like I said, not trying to just be overly negative about this, but you know what? Fuck it. I've not had uh I've had one major thing ruined in WandaVision, and I don't.
Hmm.
Well, I say major, but it's like the reveal would have been a lot more impactful if they hadn't said, "Oh, I think so and so is this character," and like this
Hmm.
is when episode 1 and 2 aired. And I'm
Hmm.
like,
Hmm.
look, I've seen this connection more than you ever could have. Plus, I know the
Hmm.
books, and I didn't piece that together.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
know you looked up someone talking about a cast list because I know you don't know
Uh,
that character. Even if they were in the movie, they weren't that significant. I guarantee it. And so when that got revealed, like, yeah. But anyway, we'll save that and more bitching about spoilers for the actual WandaVision breakdown that we're going to do here in a couple
Yeah,
weeks when it
which
ends.
it's at episode 6 now. We've got 3 left. As of the recording, we'll have 2 left
Right,
by the time this episode releases. But
right, for sure. And
oof,
I think it's
yeah,
only going
man,
to get wilder. It's
oh
just,
my god, seriously. Yeah.
yeah, it's been a crazy ride and an amazing ride. Spoilers aside, I've
Hmm.
still thoroughly
Hmm.
enjoyed it. Like I said, what Feige's doing, and I think we're
Hmm.
going to get a lot more. I think that because they said they don't want to do another 10-year arc,
Hmm.
like they did with the first MCU, phase with the Infinity War. So they're talking like maybe 4 year, and that's with television and movies.
Hmm.
So I think that's a fantastic way to go
Oh
because
yeah.
go ahead.
And I'm just no, I was just gonna say I'm just super excited that it is going so well. Just because like, I've wanted them for the longest time to expand on characters that they don't get to show much, like Wanda and Vision,
Right.
or like Falcon and Winter Soldier. And this provides them with a really unique opportunity to build and grow those characters, so whenever they show them in the movies, we've had a good time with them already. So they're kind of like really built up for us at that point.
Oh yeah, for sure. And like for characters that are, yeah, like you said, from the movies to the shows, but we're also
Hmm.
going to get now are characters that debut in a show that will still
Hmm.
show up in the movie. They've confirmed like the upcoming Ms. Marvel
Hmm.
series. That actress, that character will also be in the movies. So we're
Hmm.
gonna get no more people who may have like oh well we didn't get much backstory for this character who just suddenly joined them up in what because we're limited to a movie. So now
Hmm.
I think it's the way to go. I'm pretty sure we talked about it beforehand about the long form storytelling, especially with like comic adaptations and novel adaptations. I've felt is the way to go now that TV has damn near caught up to theater quality
Oh
experience.
yeah, yeah. I mean, and through a lot of WandaVision, you don't have a whole lot of like special effects from the beginning, from the get.
Right.
You do get like you see like Vision as a human, and then as his as we know him and
Right.
everything. So that's a pretty cool effect. But like, yeah, it takes a bit to actually like really get into that like scale. But I feel like we're gonna get more of like the cinematic esque like action and stuff whenever Winter Soldier drops. So I'm like that's one of the big things that I'm excited about on that.
Oh, for sure. And if I'm not mistaken, Winter Soldier in them because it sounds like it's going to be a bigger in scope, as
Hmm.
far as like be out and about, not how
Yeah.
WandaVision is set up. It got more delays due to COVID.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
Because that was supposed to. Both of these were both supposed to be out last year, weren't they?
they were, and I believe
Hmm.
Falcon Winter Soldier was supposed to come out first.
Hmm.
So you can tell that I feel like that's going to be that show that's going to feel a bit more movie esque as a way to
Hmm.
kind of okay, you're used to the big screen, but here's what we can do on the small screen. And from that
I
the
know.
one trailer, I haven't watched the second one because I'm good. I know I'm going to
Yeah.
watch this, so
Yeah.
I don't want to see more yet.
Hmm.
I think that was originally going to show what they can do on the screen. It's going to be a lot bigger action set pieces and
Hmm.
whatnot. And then
Yeah.
WandaVision was going to come behind that, showing kind of the low key, the more story driven, the mystery in this case
And
driven elements of what they can
speaking
do.
of low key, the Loki show
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's going to be coming out.
That's a,
Yeah.
excellent segue, sir.
Oh right. Yeah, yeah. I saw it, so I took it.
Good man.
But that was one that I actually somehow forgot about. In the short amount of time that they actually showed it off, showed the trailer and everything. But um, that's going to be exciting with its just mega hard tie-in to Endgame and the things that were resulted from that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
like WandaVision's going to tie into some stuff. I think
Hmm.
Loki is going to open up a lot.
Right.
I think we're going
Yeah.
to get a lot of like, I don't want to, because I know some, I don't know some things about the show. I actually really don't know much, but like
Hmm.
what I saw of that trailer, the little like teaser trailer they put out for the show, seems to be dealing with like alternate reality Marvel or even
Right.
interdimensional. So
Yeah.
that opens up just a floodgate of possibilities.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I am. You know me. I'm ready for everything that this year is going to bring to us
Oh,
because
for
we're
sure.
getting alternate timelines, alternate realities, just all kinds of my favorite shit, and I am like 100% here for it. And not to mention, we get what is seemingly two of like some really big, ambitious movies, especially after everything that they did in Infinity War and Endgame
Right.
with Spider-Man and Doctor Strange. Like, and we can already tell where some of this is going, and that there's going to be tie-ins with WandaVision. So right now we're just kind of getting the taste and the setup. But man, I cannot wait for like everything that comes from like the MCU stuff this year. It is so exciting.
No, absolutely, and that's like I said, it's going to be from TV, which depending on how much comes out this year alone, it's going to be
Hmm.
huge. Again,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, I laugh every time someone says this, but like for those people out there who are like, well, Mandalorian's over, I can cancel my Disney Plus subscription. You fools are going to
Yeah.
be missing out on a lot of great stuff. But
Oh, see, I mean, and even like more Star Wars stuff. Like, there's
yeah,
so much more Star Wars stuff that's going to be coming out.
oh for sure. So speaking of Star Wars, have been hearing the latest news
Uh, I don't know. The most
about
of the stuff that I've been hearing has been about the books and like those quote unquote Star Wars fans bitching about it. So
oh
that's been
well,
kind of
that's nothing new. Uh,
yeah.
no, I'm talking about Gina Carano.
Oh yes,
Cara
yeah, yeah,
Dune.
yeah. She is
She
she
is
is out.
gone. She is out,
Yeah,
and she
yeah,
is. I'm sure going to be joining Dean Cain and Kevin Sorbo in their right wing victimist movies. So I'm sure
yeah.
they're going to be cinematic masterpieces. But
Oh, I know.
that I just wanted to address that because it has been big news. It
Yeah,
makes me
yeah.
sad because despite her, and like I said, I'm not like a Twitter guy, so I haven't seen a lot of
Hmm.
like her posts. I know she got in
Hmm.
a little bit of trouble in the past, and
Yeah, yeah.
now you got this one even deeper into it, and I'm just like, well, you know what? The thing is, it's called freedom of speech, not freedom from consequences. So
Exactly. Yep.
you can't be part of a as big of a public uh, company, out in the forefront, who's already neck deep in criticism for every little thing they do
Hmm.
anyway, and expect
Hmm.
that you can. Because here's all right. I'm not trying to get too much into the politics of it all,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
but here's the thing, and the only reason I bring up politics is because I don't believe just because you have conservative views, you have
Hmm.
to be an asshole.
Right.
every time someone makes an asshole post, they claim it's because of their political view. She's saying
Right.
she said the same she said, but they're only attacking her because she's a conservative. It's not,
Oh, right.
I don't believe they're the same damn thing.
Right.
But my God, the ones who tend to make these public posts seem to lean that way, and I'm not like I said, I'm not trying to come down to that.
Yeah.
So just hey, you know what? It's you know what? Everyone's going to play their victim. She'll be just fine. She made a lot of money in the past. She's
Yeah.
going to continue to make that. I wish her the best of luck. I'm gonna miss seeing her because despite her idiocy, freaking hot. And I loved her character being a strong, powerful woman, that literally powerful that she'd probably pick
Yeah.
me up.
It's a shame, but you know what? We have plenty of other really strong and outspoken women on that show that
Absolutely.
don't make light of certain subjects. So
Absolutely.
it's she can go kick rocks.
Right. Now, another thing. We've been talking about
Yeah.
Marvel a lot.
Right.
Did you see the official Snyder Cut trailer?
Oh no, man. So someone else was talking about that yesterday when we
Yeah.
were playing Valheim.
Mhm.
I'm gonna watch it. I will
Right.
say straight out, I haven't even watched Justice League yet.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I know. Like it took me forever to even watch like Aquaman. I'm just like kind of like on that fence where I'm sort of done with some of the DC stuff that they're doing because they can't decide what they want to do exactly.
No, that's fair.
But with everything, all the buzz and people like all the stuff going on about people talking about it and like just the whole amount of like just shit that has been focused around the Schneider cut.
Yeah.
I did air quotes. You couldn't see it, but you heard it in my voice.
I believe you.
I feel like I'm gonna have to watch it. It's gonna be on HBO
Right.
anyway. I don't know if Stephanie wants to subject herself through it, but if we do, we'll buy a huge bottle of some kind of booze or something and just watch it, or
Probably the best way to
But-
do it. So here's the thing.
yeah. Go ahead.
I watch every comic book movie I can.
Right.
Even if it takes a decade after it came out. I only just recently watched Green Lantern.
Mhm.
Because Craig finally bought on his voodoo and I can use his account so I can watch it for free.
Hilarious.
Um,
Yeah.
I watched Justice League a while back, and it left such so little of an impact on me. I don't remember a lot of it. I just remember
that's
not just going like it's bad. It was boring. It was uninteresting and uninspired,
Yeah.
as well as some many other issues I have with like production and whatnot. So the Snyder Cut does not have me excited because I don't
Right.
want necessarily more of what he already produced. And but I'm that guy, okay? Like in wrestling here recently, there's been a lot of wrestlers who left the WWE to go to the new upstart company AEW, claiming
Right.
they were held back. They weren't given their creative freedom. Sounds very familiar, is what Snyder claims. Some of them have shown in AEW, have gotten a lot better, a lot better character, a lot better ring work. Some are just as shitty as they were in WWE. You know what I mean? And this is where I want to see what Snyder does. I've seen Snyder work within a company. I'd say that was Watchmen, and he did very well. He worked in a lot, I don't remember there being a lot of studio interference, but like, that was within the constraints of what he had to work with. He still produced a good adaptation of a very hard to adapt story.
Right.
I've seen Snyder go balls to the wall Snyder and enjoyed it. Sucker Punch. I'm one of the few,
Right.
it seems like in my circles at least, not many people like that film. I enjoyed that film. So, with known rewrites, bringing in Joss Whedon to rework Justice League, he blames a lot of the movie on that. And that's easy to do when you have a director known for working in the other company and who's not part really of the Warner Brothers umbrella. So part of me is just really wants to see if this is going to be what all the Snyder fans, all the DC fanboys who just call everyone who doesn't like DC movies Marvel fanboys, which is not
Yeah.
fucking true. See if this is their, and the reality is like, even if it is a better adaptation, nothing will ever live up to the hype these fans have really put behind it and the justification how it's going to make everything better.
Yeah.
I don't see it happening. the funniest thing I can say. And actually, I got into a really good discussion with my friend who says that Heath Ledger was the worst Joker, and basically he's got very terrible opinions. At least a lot I don't agree with. But and he kind of like we were talking about the Snyder Cut, and he doesn't like how Joker looks now because he liked the Suicide Squad Joker.
Oh, okay.
And now
That's
and now even Zack Snyder was like, well, I'm going to get rid of the tattoos and grow his hair out. And he looks a lot like Ledger all of a sudden, doesn't he? So he likes everything about the trailer except Joker. And he got onto his whole he thinks Ledger was a shit Joker, and to which I usually leave it alone because I don't always know, even my good friends, and he is a good friend to me, how well they can handle a discussion. Know what I mean? Because fanboys can't usually have. We had a very good one, and he made some valid points, and I made some valid points. He asked me what I didn't like about the Suicide Squad one, and I told him everything, and it's very numerous. I mean, but to be honest, Joker was not the biggest problem with that fucking movie. But I explained why I didn't like. I don't mind the tattoos. I think Damage is a little too on the nose, and I didn't like the grill because I felt like it was actually distracting from what one of Joker's iconic things is, his big ass smile. To which he made some fair counterpoints.
Listen, Sean, he had that cool smile tattoo on his hand that he put over his face occasionally.
You know what? I didn't hate it. I didn't hate that, to be honest. And all the laughs and smile tattoos. If you're gonna go tattoo route, I wasn't mad at that. Actually, I didn't like the damage on the forehead. I didn't like the grill. My boy put out a very good argument though, because and he's acknowledging, because he criticized like Ledger and stuff, and I explained my view on it. And his view was, well, Joker cut his own face off in the comics. A dumb tattoo's not beyond him. I'm like, you know what? That's fair. That's fair. And apparently, maybe it was something in Suicide Squad that I've forgotten. I'll have to fact check if I ever go watch it again, which I really doubt it. The grill wasn't there because apparently Batman just literally knocked all the Joker's teeth out. Apparently.
Yeah, I remember somebody making that point when before that movie came out, and people had mentioned it. They were like, "Yeah, that's because he doesn't really have a lot of teeth, or they're just real fucked up because of Batman just destroying them."
And you know what? And if that wasn't made clear in the movie, then that's on the movie for me not liking that idea. But with it makes me feel a little bit better if that is the actual case. You know what I mean? But on top of all the other character and story problems with Suicide Squad, the Joker's the least of the issues. But here's my thing, y'all. And I'm not again, this is not coming down on my friend. I don't expect everyone to have the years of knowledge and obsession I've had over comic books. But when you make a complaint about he had a complaint about Bane in The Dark Knight Rises. He was he was just a smart guy in a mask who wasn't like a roid raging out enemy. To which I had to explain to him, Bane's always been a genius. His weakness is his dependency on Venom. Because and granted, I know he reads comic books. I don't know if he's gone that deep, But again, we had a very good discussion on that. But it all got brought up because of the Snyder Cut, because I've been very vocal amongst my group, and I'm in the minority in this group of mine who don't like the current DC cinema. But I watched that trailer, and I'm like, you know what? The trailer is making me feel okay. But I haven't watched the movie in long enough time to really remember how to compare them. So I'll be diving into the current I think they call it the extended cut that's currently on HBO Max before I watch the 4-hour or whatever it's going to be Snyder Cut.
Right.
Because I'm going to give Snyder all the full benefit that WWE was holding him back, to go back to my other analogy. The Warner Brothers held him back. Warner Brothers had all the rewrites. He wanted all this stuff. And I'll give him the full benefit of the doubt. That way, when I make a video or make a discussion or we talk on this and I utterly destroy that fucking film, I'll have all my ducks in a row.
that's kind of where I am with it. I'm like, those people are so like obnoxious and annoying that I really kind of wanted to just fail. Like, oh, why did it fail this time, guys? He got his cut and everything. Like, what happened?
You know what though? There was one thing missing from the trailer, and
Hmm.
he better deliver if he's really keeping it a secret until the
Hmm.
release. And not to say
Hmm.
there might be another trailer coming out, but I'm not going to watch it because I know I'm watching this thing.
Right, right, right.
Uh, Green Lantern is supposed to be in this film, and it was not shown in that
Really?
trailer. Whoever they're using, I don't
Mm.
know if it's good.
Oh.
If he puts in my boy Kyle Rayner, I doubt it. It'll I'm gonna
Yeah.
forgive a lot just because my
It's
boy
it's
Kyle Rayner will
probably
be
going to
there.
be John Stewart.
I'm
I
figuring
feel
John
like.
Stewart as well.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
but and again, I also kind of just want to make sure the listeners are aware. I love
Mhm.
comic book movies. I'm not
Yeah.
a Marvel fanboy. I'm not a DC fanboy. I'm a comic book fanboy.
Yeah.
I want them all to be amazing so I can go watch a comic book movie every time and love them and have a great time. DC has just not been producing as much.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Aquaman. It was fine.
Hmm.
And like as fine and as great as a whole compared to other comic movies, it's fine. It's good. It's not great, but it's good.
Hmm.
Same with the first Wonder Woman. Wonder that was better than '84. Did not enjoy '84 very
Oh man,
much.
I was so sad because I enjoyed the first Wonder Woman, and I was really excited about the second one coming out, and I really wanted to like it, and like, man, it just didn't do it.
Right. I mean, there's no way to put it because like what I've said before, but especially like with Batman v Superman and Justice League. Like, of course, there's always going to be something wrong, or you don't like how they adapted something. But a bad movie can be more entertaining than just a uninteresting movie, and
Hmm.
that's what those two fall in with me. They're not because like Man of Steel, there's some problems with Man of Steel. You know,
Oh yeah.
Superman is way too depressed the entire fucking film, being Jesus on Earth, with abs. And let us remind you every Superman movie what my symbol means, hope. But I look like I'm just dour and out of hope my entire time. But I can honestly still say though I enjoyed some parts of it. I can say that
Mhm.
Man of Steel was an okay film. While Batman v Superman and Justice League were just like, okay, I saw something. I couldn't even tell you 100% what happened.
Hmm.
And
Well, I
yeah,
mean, and the really the best Superman movie that was released recently was definitely Brightburn, right?
that's how you do gloomy Superman is motherfucking
Man,
Brightburn.
yes. Oh, I've been itching to watch that again.
Oh yeah,
Like,
you should watch the cinematic universe of Brightburn.
yeah,
That
yeah,
combined with crap, what is it called? Super with Rainn
yeah.
Wilson.
Yep, yep, yep. Oh man, I fucking love that movie so much.
That movie is so damn good, and I'm so glad someone pointed out after I had to it had to get pointed out to me because I missed it the first time
Hmm.
of that connection at the end of Brightburn. I'm like, holy
Yeah,
shit, that's kind of
the end
amazing.
credits.
I
Hmm.
hope I would love for them to expand on it. Haven't heard
Yeah.
anything about it, and it's James Gunn. He's busy enough as it is.
Hmm. Hmm.
but like also another movie I enjoyed in the DC was Shazam.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, Shazam was good. Yeah, I agree with that.
And again, it was maybe because and like like I said, the haters want to say like complain on it saying they went the Marvel route. That was
Hmm.
too Marvel because it was too jokey. Marvel movies are just always too much comedy, and I've literally heard that. I mean, that's verbatim. I've heard someone complain about the Marvel movies. They're way too funny. I'm like, oh yeah, man, that laugh riot that was Infinity War, right? That was just cracking up all the way to the end credits. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
Endgame, just hilarious the entire fucking movie, right? Just
Hmm.
it's like
Yeah, completely.
some people just like all I'm saying is if you want to criticize, have something behind it.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a like a 15-year-old that all of a sudden gets superpowers where he can turn into I can't remember that actor's name right now.
Oh, yeah,
Chuck. Yeah, Chuck,
Chuck.
from
Yeah, right.
uh, big buff Chuck. Of course, you're gonna see them blowing up people's phones by trying to charge them and doing the floss dance. Like, what else were you expecting?
Right. Well,
Yeah.
the ones, and granted, the ones that complain,
Hmm.
in my mind, are the ones who are like, "Oh, I like DC because it's dark and edgy," and like
Right.
they said the word fuck. Like they only said fucking Titans. Okay, that's the only time they've ever dropped the f bomb. And like, oh, like, well, they would show like Wonder Woman ripping off someone Doomsday's head. I said that didn't happen. All we got was a cave troll leaping at them and and doing things. And at the end of Batman v Superman,
Hmm.
it's like in their head, it's those people who are like, I don't like kiddie games. I only play Call of Duty. It's like, bro, if you're having to justify your masculinity with a kid's video game, like you're already doing it wrong.
Right.
And I'm sorry if I'm being super negative this episode.
No, no, no.
It's,
You're,
it's been
it's
there's been
it's it's
some,
it's mostly justified. You're good.
and it's like, well, mainly because like what's really happening, what's really good in my life as far as entertainment. Of course, like there's a lot of good in my life, but we can't talk about what's going on because we don't want to spoil anything. So of course,
Hmm. Hmm.
I felt like having to make sure you understand why I feel so strongly about like we're saving WandaVision talk until it's over.
Right.
Because we don't want to ruin it for the listeners who haven't been watching. Like I got some friends that are still trying to catch up. There's been great TV out there, that's been going on.
Oh yeah.
A great horror fun. If I can plug my other podcast real quick,
Yeah, yeah. Of
something
course.
something going down in the future on my Macabre Matinee with our buddy Craig Lance. We're currently going through the Friday the 13th series, but we're going to be doing a TV show that's available right now on HBO Max called 30 Coins.
Hmm.
If you have not watched this film, don't watch or this series. It's a series. Don't watch our review until you have. But
Hmm.
it's from Spain, so yes, big scary subtitles. Warning.
Big scary subtitles. No.
But I've been describing it as the Da Vinci Code meets H.P. Lovecraft.
Ooh.
It's amazing, and I've been trying to spread the word, so I'm hoping maybe this will go to a few more people.
Yeah.
Check it out if you have HBO Max. It is again, it's subtitled. You're gonna have to read, but it is a great horror series that again I can't discuss till it's over because
Hmm.
there's so much going down and there's reveals and twists and turns. But it's like it deals a lot with Catholicism, the Catholic Church, as well as freaky shit. You know what I mean?
Oh, I
So,
know all about Catholicism. I watched Warrior Nun.
did you really watch that?
Dude, it was honestly pretty good. Okay.
Really?
Yeah, I
Okay.
actually I
I,
enjoyed it. I
I
enjoyed
believe that's a comic book movie I've forgotten about.
it. Really.
I
Hmm.
I,
Yeah. No, it was good.
I want to say Warrior Nun was a comic in the '90s. It kind of had if it's the one I'm thinking of, I might be thinking of the wrong one, but it had kind of an early anime, Western anime
Oh, you know what? Now
influence.
that you mention it, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which again, I'll have to add. Every now and again, I have to go because there are certain comic book films that you don't really know are comic book films,
Mhm.
and every
Yeah.
now and again, I gotta go Google comic book
Mhm.
movies, or
It
non-Marvel, non-DC, and find that
yeah.
list to see what all was a comic. Like
Yeah.
Road to Perdition. Most people don't realize it's
Yeah.
a
Oh,
comic book
right.
film. From
Yeah.
Hell. That's
Mm-hmm.
V for
Hmm.
Vendetta. Surprisingly, I've told people like it's a comic. They're like, it is. I'm like, okay.
What?
So, but yeah, Warrior Nun, I believe, if it's the
Yeah.
same one I'm thinking of.
1994. Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's again. Again, I'm a man of my word, and I'll have to go watch it now. Especially since you said
Yeah.
what you liked it.
Yeah, but also apparently there were like it was a loose adaptation.
That's fine.
Yeah,
But like
but I enjoyed it.
I traditionally do like, and I've never read it. Mainly, like,
Yeah.
a lot of my broad knowledge of comic books, as far as what exists out there, comes from Wizard
Mhm.
magazine from back in the day. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right, right, right.
I obsessed over those because I wasn't working at the time because I was still like in junior high, and
Mhm.
my dad was nice enough to buy me books occasionally, but not very often. But they would buy me a monthly magazine. So through that, I experienced a lot of comic books just in those articles.
Your dad was just like, "What do you need a book for? You can't read."
I never learned to read.
You just like the pretty pictures.
I do like the pretty pictures. That's why I read Savage Dragon to this day. I ignore the story.
Right.
Well, brother.
But yeah,
oh,
you said 30 coins.
30 coins, dude. Like, especially now that it's about. I think tonight, if you stay up late, is a series finale.
Oh,
Like, it's about
okay. So it
over.
was a. Oh, I didn't know how new it was. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. It's only like I think 8 episodes, 9 episodes. Uh, if you and if you and Steph are in for like in a horror mood and reading is okay. I know for you. I know. I'm sure y'all both don't mind subtitles. I know you don't, but
Yeah.
I would highly recommend it. It's super good. Like I think it's well paced. I mean, there's some dense kind of backstory into it, but I think it keeps the pace very well throughout.
Yeah, I'll have to give it a shot. You have intrigued me. You've piqued my interest.
Good, good. It also has like an amazing opening. It kind of reminds me of that. You know how like certain shows have like those openings that don't
Man,
are like in a different
like
style than the rest of the
yeah,
show itself.
yeah, and HBO fucking kills it with the openings, man.
Right. Like
Like,
this one has because it's 30 coins. If you
mhm,
know anything about the Bible,
yeah,
there's a very significant thing to do with
hmm
30 coins, and
right.
you have like music. It reminds me of Black Sails,
Oh yes.
and it kind of has actually what the whole like granted it's not statuesque, but it has that kind of weirdly differently shot opening that's like super high
Mm-hmm.
def.
Yeah.
Dealing with kind of the setup for the 30 coin. That's all I'm going to say, in case anyone doesn't know that story.
Right. I feel like Game of Thrones really kind of kicked that off, and then other places took it and like one upped it. Like Black Sails
Yeah,
and Westworld were probably some of my favorite. Raised by Wolves was also a fucking
dude.
dope
Yeah,
opening.
I
Yeah.
can't, dude. All right, we've hit the hour mark, but I don't think we've talked about Raised by Wolves.
No.
Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
been a little while, maybe too long to really go back and do a series overview because we weren't doing this show at the time. But
Right.
okay, I'm ready for season 2 because I got
Oh yeah.
questions.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
100%.
I mean, not only was it, and spoilers if y'all haven't watched it yet, but it's been out for well over a year, so forgive.
Mhm.
Not only did those robots go through the Earth and end up on the other
Mhm.
side, that
Mhm.
tapeworm grew very large and flew away.
Yeah.
And I gotta know, are we in the Prometheus to Prometheus? Because
Right.
it's Ridley Scott. It has to be connected. He doesn't do anything
Mhm.
else other than connect the alien universe.
Right.
Like,
There's so much speculation on that.
yeah, yeah,
I think I had it mentioned, but I didn't think about it until we saw the android's like blood and it
right,
was white, and I'm like,
yeah.
what does this remind me of? And then it hit me, and I was like, oh right, this is Ridley Scott. Yeah,
All
so
of
dope.
his androids only have the milk blood. So
And the funny thing is, the thing that got me to watch it in the first place was Steph and I were going through Vikings, and I saw that the guy that plays Ragnar was one of the main characters in this. So I was like, okay, let's
right.
see how he does in another show.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a good actor. I've enjoyed him.
hmm
Even he was great even in Warcraft, which I know a lot of people didn't like that film,
Oh yeah.
but I enjoyed that film and I enjoyed him in that role. But brother,
Yeah.
we
Travis Fimmel was his,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Sorry, you've been trying to
Sorry, trying
the show
to we do
a few minutes
we
out.
do got to wrap it up.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
great talk as always. Again,
Yeah.
I will throw out there that sorry, not sorry about my negativity, but when it comes to spoilers,
It's all good.
it's just people got to respect people's way of enjoyment and don't take that from them.
Right.
But that is going to do it for today. If you enjoyed what you heard, please give us a like, a thumbs up. Let us know what you thought about anything that we've discussed today and how you feel about, people giving spoilers. Do you care? Do you not? I mean, yeah, we'd love to hear what your thoughts on that end. And as of this recording, we are now officially on Spotify.
Yes.
As well as I have to get the list, but apparently the site Anchor that we're using to put the podcast out has gone out to many other sites. I'll get a full list eventually, but yeah, you can if YouTube is not your preferred route to listening, we now have many options out there. So go ahead and check for the Yokai Delinquents podcast on whatever your normal podcast provider is. We may just be
we
on
are out there, baby.
all episodes are current, so
Yeah.
all available. Go back, listen again. Maybe
Yeah.
without the beautiful artwork, but still some enjoyable stuff out there. We appreciate each and every
Oh, yeah.
one of y'all, and yeah, we'll catch y'all next time.
Yeah. Peace.